Welcome to today's class. We're going to explore the earth element today. So there'll be a class for each of the 5 elements: earth, fire, water, air and ether or space. So today's class is earth. So it's linked to our root chakra. If you've maybe done the root chakra class, there are similar elements. So it's to do with grounding, feeling rooted, connected to nature, our connection to the physical material world. So it's more legs focused and moving slow and strong, building up some heat, really feeling connected and rooted. So it's a lovely one to do outside in nature if you can. I would have done it outside today, actually, the recording, but it might rain, so I haven't. So this is a good one for when you want to come back to and feel grounded, work on a bit of strength and just feel grounded again and connected. So we'll begin in a constructive rest. So come to lie down on your back. The soles of the feet are wide, so as wide as the edges of the mat, and the knees rest against each other. Bring both hands onto your lower belly. And close your eyes if that feels okay for you today. Beginning to find stillness and slow everything down. Hearing any noises outside the room that you're in or inside the room, and just accepting them, letting them be. Give yourself permission to be here. You've got nothing else to do at the moment, nowhere else to be. You have chosen to get on the mat and do this practice, to really be here and commit to it for just this hour. Feel the soles of the feet on the mat, the back of the hips, the lower back, mid back and shoulder blades, the arms, the back of the head. Feel that connection to the surface beneath you. And begin to breathe more deeply. So breathing in through your nose, deeply down into the belly, letting the belly expand. So deep grounding breaths. Deep breaths in. And long breaths out through your nose or your mouth. And then from this more quiet and still place, continue breathing deeply. I want you to imagine, visualize that you're lying down as you are, but you're outside in nature, somewhere that feels particularly grounding, safe for you, the way you feel connected to nature. What terrain are you on? What earth? Are you on the earth? Are you on the soil, the dirt, the moss, the grass in a meadow, maybe on the warm sand? What intuitively comes up for you? There's no right or wrong, just what makes you feel most grounded out in nature, what terrain. And when you get there, how does it smell? So run through the sensations, the senses, the experience, the smell. Maybe the warmth of the sun. And feeling how that surface beneath you gently supports you completely and molds your body in the way that it does, the way the earth does. It's not completely hard, it has this slight softness and support. And just lying there for a few moments, enjoying that connection. take 3 more breaths. Okay, we'll start some gentle movements. So bring the knees into the chest for Apanasana, holding gently onto your knees or shins. You can be still, or if you want to find movement, you can do so. As always, moving intuitively in a way that feels best for your body today. So it might be circles or rocking, or maybe taking the knees wide for circles this way. Spend a few moments exploring. Okay, then we're going to send the left leg straight down onto the floor. If it feels better for you, you can have the foot flat on the floor with the knee bent. So either of these is fine. And then we're going to hold onto the back of the right thigh, flex the right foot, and then straighten the right leg out, holding firmly onto the back of the thigh, like you're pushing the foot up, kicking the foot up, engaging the back of the leg. Breathe in here, and then as you exhale, release, bending the knee just slowly, but still holding onto the back of the thigh. And again, inhale, push up with the heel, stretching and straightening the back of the leg. Exhale, bending the knee. One more time. Inhale, push. Exhale, soften, bend, and then we'll do circles with the foot, both ways, and point and flex the foot. And then holding onto your right knee with your right hand, bring your left hand onto your left hip, just keep that stable. Gently bend the right knee and open the hip out to the side. The foot can relax more now. Not too far, I don't need to come forward, just warming up, so just opening it out a little bit. Back to the middle, send the right leg down, either straight down or with a bent knee. And then lift the left leg up now. Hold on to the back of the left thigh. You don't have to draw it in as much as you can. You can have a sense of softness here. So the knee is relaxed for now. The foot is flexed, left foot is flexed. Then again, as you inhale, slowly straighten the leg, pressing the back of the thigh into the hands, kicking the heel up. Exhale, release and soften. Inhale, engaging the back of the leg, kicking up, reaching, and then back. And we'll do one more like that. Straightening, it doesn't have to be straight, either your leg. If it doesn't get straight, that's okay. And then we'll release. Hold on to the left knee with the left hand, bring the right hand onto your right hip for stability, and keeping like pinning the right hip down, and then gently draw the left knee out to the side. And bring it back to the middle. Bend both knees now. Bring your hands, palms facing up in a T shape, elbows bent or straight, whatever you have space for. But take a big breath in, and then as you breathe out, draw the navel down, engaging the core, tucking the tailbone slightly so the lower back's in contact with the mat. And then we're going to slowly tick-tock our knees side to side, but they don't have to come to the floor, just slowly with control. And always tuning into those experiences, the sensations, whatever you can feel. Okay, and up to the middle. We're going to rock to sit now. So hold on to the backs of the thighs or maybe the tops. You can cross your ankles if you want to. Bring the knees up towards the face. Get a bit of movement, memento, rocking a few times. And then we'll land, and we're going to come onto all fours. So you can cross your legs and come over like this, or you can just take your knees round to the side and come round that way. Okay, I'm actually going to turn around. Okay, so you're on all fours. You don't have to turn around, by the way. You can stay the way that you're going. I hope my mic's behaving. Are you behaving? Moving about. Okay, All fours, fingers are spread wide, the wrists are under the shoulders and the knees are about under the hips. You can take them a bit wider if you want to. And we'll start our cat-cow. So inhale, the tailbone lifts, the belly drops, the chest expands and we look forwards. And then exhale, rounding everything in, tucking the head under. Again, pressing into those foundations, our connection. Inhale, opening up to cow, pressing into the hands, tops of feet, the shins. Exhale, round, moving through the spine. Close your eyes, move in an intuitive way again, whenever you have chance to, bringing in movement that feels good in your body today. So you can get creative if you want to, plugging into those foundations and then moving the rest of the body in any way from there. So you might do circles with the ribs, with the hips, or come back with the hips onto the heels and forwards. So continue breathing and moving in this way. Okay, we'll do a few more rounds of breath there. Okay. Now coming to a neutral spine, so a tabletop position, pressing the hands into the mat, into the earth, pulling front body to back body so we're not hanging into it. Bring your right leg behind you, toes are pointing down, leg is straight, so don't lift up this hip. Inhale, lengthen the heel away from the crown of the head. Exhale, bend the knee and draw the knee in towards the belly, in towards the nose. Step the right foot or guide it between the hands. So we're in a low lunge, but with our fingers on either side of the leg. And then from here, we'll come to a runner's lunge. So tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. Feel into it, feel the strength, feel whatever you can feel, and sink into that. Don't try and run from it. Staying here for one more breath. If you ever want to add a bit of movement and bounce and things to these kind of movements, you can do. Okay, and then lower the back knee. Take the right leg back round so you're in all fours again. And we'll do the same, but on the other side. So setting up, draw the navel in, bring the left leg up now, spiking the heel away from the crown of the head. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the knee, draw it in, curl round with the body and step the left foot through now. And again, fingertips at either side. Sinking into this low lunge just a little bit, not too much. Okay, and then tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee. And staying here for a few breaths. So really breathe deep. Let that breath be your anchor. Let it be what softens you, softens any of the sensations. Okay, and then gently lower that back knee. Bring the right knee behind you. Again, the fingers are spread wide. Tuck the toes. Draw the navel up. Big breath in, and then as you breathe out, press through the hands and slide back to downward dog. And you can find movement here. Head is heavy. The heels can be off the mat and the knees can be bent. They don't have to be straight with, we want the tailbone to be lifting high here. And then walk your hands back to your feet. So you come into a forward fold, but at the back of your mat. Knees are bent deeply. Hands hang heavy and head, crown of the head, soles of the feet are connecting down. As you inhale now, begin to straighten the legs for a halfway lift, hands coming up to the thighs, looking ahead. And then exhale, fold and soften, bending the knees again. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, coming up, expanding through the chest, looking ahead. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, up. Hands come to thighs. Exhale, fold and soften. And then walk your hands back to downward dog. Just for one big breath here. And then bringing the feet, walking or hopping the feet to the top of the mat so that you're in a forward fold. I'm just going to shuffle my mat a bit because it's moved a little bit. It's better. Okay, so we're in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Pressing into your foundations, into your feet, knees are bent, really strong legs, and inhale, unraveling, coming all the way up. Palms meet at the top. And exhale, palms down together at prayer position. Okay, so we'll do a bit of a mountain meditation here. Well, a meditation in mountain pose. It's not a meditation about mountains. So stand with your feet about hip distance. Bring the hands facing forwards. Arms down by your sides. Close your eyes whenever you're ready. And we'll just start by gently swaying forwards and backwards. So the weight comes into the heels and into the toes. And then come side to side. Until you then come to a central axis, like a point where you feel like you're right in the middle, in the central axis of your body, and then stay there. Now we'll bring in a visualization, so to really connect us to the earth again. This is a lovely one to do outside with your feet in the soil maybe, or in the grass. But we'll just imagine that for now. So feel the bottoms of your feet, the soles of your feet, and the surface beneath, the mat beneath them. And then imagine that they're in the warm earth, or maybe the grass or the sand. Imagine that you have roots growing down from the center of your feet, the soles of your feet. And they go all the way down through the earth into the center of the earth, into the very center of the earth. We're connected. As you breathe in, imagine that you're breathing up energy and life force, coming up like spirals through these roots, through the bottoms of your feet, through your legs spiraling up, then through the center of your body, all the way to the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, you send this spiraling energy back down through your body, back down through your legs, through the soles of the feet, connecting all the way back down to nature, to the earth, to the energy of the earth. Continuing that in your own pace. So as you breathe in, imagine this energy, this connected feeling flowing up through the roots, through the soles of your feet, up through your legs, up through your spine, the middle of your body, to the crown of the head, filling your body with this energy. And as you exhale, sending it back down. So carrying that on for a few rounds of breath in your own time. Do one more round of breath here. Okay, and then when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes, and we'll do 2 sun salutations. Again, focus on your connection and your foundations as we move through them before we go on to another sequence. So inhale, bring your arms up and over the head, palms meeting, looking at the palms. Exhale, fold, bending your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, looking ahead. Exhale, fold and soften, plant your hands and step or hop back to a plank, lowering down either half plank or a full plank, elbows go straight back. Inhale, toes pointing back, roll the shoulders up and down, elbows are bent, cobra. Exhale, pressing through the hands, tucking the toes back to downward dog. Taking 3 breaths here. On your third exhale, looking up to the hands and either walking or hopping, feet up to hands. Inhale, halfway lift, looking ahead. Exhale, fold and soften. And then as you inhale, pressing through the feet, strong legs, reaching the arms out wide, palms meet. Exhale, palms down. Okay, we'll do one more sun salutation. Inhale, arms come wide, looking up, palms meet. Exhale, folding, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and soften, planting the hands down, stepping or hopping back to a plank, lowering down in your own way. Inhale into cobra, or if you want to come deeper into an upward dog, you can. Tuck the toes back to downward dog. And here, pressing into your foundations, your hands, your feet, so that the tailbone can lift. We have connected, feeling connected through the hands and the toes, the feet. Head is heavy. Deep breaths here, one more. And then looking up to your hands, walking or hopping the feet up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, all the way up. Looking up to your palms as they meet, and exhale, palms down. Okay, so feet about hip distance, or you can have them a tiny bit narrower. We're going to start by, as you inhale, bend your knees, lift the heels up so you come onto the balls of your feet and lift the arms up so we're balancing. Exhale, the feet softly come back down, lower your arms, bend a bit deeper into the knees. Inhale again, lifting up, floating the arms up, coming up onto the balls of the feet, keeping the knees bent. Exhale, just floating back down. We'll do one more like that. Inhale, coming up, lifting the arms, lifting the heels, keeping the knees bent. Exhale, down, but keeping the knees together and bent in a chair. Now inhale your arms up by the ears, palms facing inwards. Exhale and fold and soften over the legs. Inhale, swoop up again to chair, palms are facing each other. Exhale, fold and soften, arms come behind you, keeping the knees bent the whole time. Inhale up to chair and exhale, release. Okay, inhaling up to chair, bring your palms together, begin to straighten the legs, and then lifting the right toes up for a tree. So you want bare feet for this, no socks. If you've got a very thick squishy mat, you might want to do it on the firmer surface instead. Find a drishti, a gaze point, engage your core. You can bring your hands however you like here for tree. You can start with the toes on the floor and the heel on the ankle and see how you feel there. And whenever you're ready, if you're ready at any point, you can then begin to lift the foot, but not onto the knee joint because the joints aren't as stable. Or maybe onto the inner thigh, or maybe not. So the right foot is lifted, maybe hands onto hips if that's better for you, stand nice and tall. And again, you can imagine these roots growing down through the bottom of your foot that's in contact with the mat. And breathe and soften into it, allow your foot to calibrate. We want a sense of playfulness here. It's okay if you fall over, I don't know, and it doesn't matter anyway. Take a few more breaths in tree. Staying as you are with the right knee bent. Bring it forward so it's facing forwards. Flex the right toes. Begin to hinge forward at the hips, leaning forwards but keeping your chest lifted, and sending the right foot back and slowly letting it land behind you so you come into a high lunge. You might want to heel toe the left foot over a little bit so you're on a wider tracking. The back leg is not quite straight, have a little bit of a bend in the front knee so the tailbone tucks under. Lift your arms up, taking a breath here in high lunge. Back heel is lifted. Okay, inhale, reaching up, exhale, turning out to warrior two. So the front foot stays pretty much the same, but the back foot now, the toes face the long edge of the mat and the outer edge of that back foot presses into the mat, into the earth. So we're in our foundation, strong legs here, reaching the fingertips away from each other, roll the shoulders down and back, and gaze down that middle finger. Okay. Straighten the front leg. Carefully and slowly move, there's no rush. We want to move safely and transition securely and safely. Toes face out, heels are in. So toes are facing out to the corners of the mat and heels are in. Arms up, sink down for goddess. Again, strong legs, strong foundations that give you that buoyancy and that lift through the rest of your body. Drawing that energy up, just imagining it even, drawing energy up from the earth to give you that strength and stability in the rest of your body. Tuck the tailbone under, make sure the knees are pressing back and not coming in. And you can have a bit of a bounce here. Kind of feels better and worse at the same time. Okay, and then we're going to straighten the legs, bring your hands onto your hips. Turn it so the toes now face forward, so they face the long edge of the mat. Feet are wide, so you want them fairly wide. Inhale, lengthen up, find length through the spine. Exhale, fold at the hips, sending the hips back. We're going to come to wide-legged forward fold. So head hangs heavy, hands are kind of under the shoulders. If you want to deepen this one, you can walk the hands through between the legs. And you can have bent knees here if you need to. So any pose that typically has straight legs, if you find that not so good in your knee joints, you can have a soft bend if you need to. And breathe. Nice deep breaths here. One more. Okay, and then walking the hands forwards, and walk the hands over to the left foot, pivot on the feet, and lower the right knee down. Inhale, up, low lunge. Exhale, float the hands down either side of the left foot, press into the hands, scoop the belly in, round the spine, step back to plank, and we'll move through our vinyasa, so lowering down. Inhale, up to a cobra or an up dog if you like. Exhale, downward dog. Taking 3 breaths here. Okay, and then looking up to the hands, walking or hopping, feet up to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then bend deeply into the knees, sit back with the bum. Make sure feet are about hip distance, or maybe you can have the feet a little bit closer together. And inhale up to a chair again. So we're going to go straight into it on the other side. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold and soften. Really do a releasing, cleansing breath, but everything be heavy when you do that. Inhale up, nice and strong. Exhale. One more. Inhale, sweeping the arms up by the ears. Exhale, soften. Inhaling back up, bring the palms together. Begin to straighten the legs, taking your time for tree with the left leg, the left foot lifting now. So, bringing maybe the toes onto the floor and the heel onto the ankle first. Maybe hands onto hips or hands palms together. Take your time, find your drishti. your gaze point, stay focused on that. Strong in the belly, so you have this stability from the center of you. Nice and tall. And soften with the breath. And you can do what you like with your arms. They're your branches. Staying here for another 3 breaths. And if you come out of it or wobble, it's fine, it doesn't matter. Just come back into it. Okay, then we're going to bring the left knee so it's facing forwards. The left foot is flexed, hands onto the hips. Begin to send that foot back nice and slowly. Keep the chest lifted, bend more deeply into the front knee so you can reach that leg far back. Then you can shuffle that right foot over to the right a bit. My mat's moving about as I move on it. Okay, and then we're going to come to high lunge. So bend in the front knee. Inhale, arms up by the ears. Slight bend in that back knee, but the heel is lifted. Toes are both facing forward. Hips are facing forward to the top of the mat as well. Okay, straighten the legs. Begin to pivot and turn out to goddess. So toes are facing, I'm going to have to move this silly mat. Toes are facing the outer corners. Heels are facing in. Arms up, cactusing the arms, spreading the fingers, nice and strong throughout. Inhale, exhale, slowly sink down to goddess. Remember, pushing the thighs backwards ever so slightly. Feeling strong in the bottoms of your feet. Our foundations, giving us that strength and lift through the rest of the body. Breathe into the sensations, don't run from them, sink into them and just breathe. You're getting stronger. One more breath here. And then straighten the legs nice and slowly. Hands onto the hips, turn the toes to face the long edge of the mat. You can turn them in ever so slightly if you want to. The stance is nice and wide still. Inhale, lengthening up through the spine. Exhale, fold, sending the hips back. So again here in wide-legged forward fold. You can walk the hands through if you want to deepen it, or stay wherever you are. Wherever you are is good and fine, and that's where you're meant to be. Breathe deeply into wherever you might feel it. I can definitely feel it in the right leg more, at the back. One more breath here. And then walking the hands forward slightly and then over to the right, pivoting on the feet so that then bring your right hand over on the outside of the right leg and lower the back knee down. Inhale up for a low lunge. And then exhale, plant the hands either side of the foot, lift the back knee, bring the foot back so that you're in a plank, lower down, moving through our vinyasa and coming to downward dog again. For our last downward dog, we'll take one breath in downward dog. And then walk your hands back again to the back of your mat, feet are wide. Pivot on the heels, the toes turn out, and then sink down to Malasana or Yogi squat. So it might be that your heels are off the mat. Not everyone's heels are going to be flat down. So you might be more kind of up a bit, and that's okay. Bring your elbows inside the knees, inside the thighs with the palms together. Try to keep lifted through the chest. This is a lovely hip opener, really grounding. We'll stay here for another big breath. Okay, and we're going to now walk our hands forwards, lower the knees, and come back to a restful child's pose. So big toes together, knees wide, and then resting down. So you can rest your head on your hands if you want, or have your hands out ahead of you, the forehead on the mat. Come to a child's pose variation that's good for you. Again, this is a really grounding pose. We're really connected. We've got lots of our body on the floor, connected to the surface beneath us. And it's just a lovely one where we can really soften the belly here as well. So as you breathe in, let that belly soften and expand. And as you exhale, allow yourself to feel the support of gravity. So your whole body getting a bit heavier and feeling that it's completely supported. Taking 5 more breaths here and counting those rounds of breath. So in and out through the mouth each time as well. That's 1. Breathing in. And then releasing out through the mouth. That's 2. And doing 3 more in your own time. Okay, we'll slowly come up and we'll do some seated, well, one seated pose on each side, and we'll hold it in like a yin style for a few minutes. So we're going to do a half butterfly fold. So you can sit on something if you want to, and because we're going to fold, if you have particularly sensitive lower back, then keep the spine more lifted and hinged from the hips, or don't come too far forwards, so you're not putting too much pressure on the lower back. If your back's fine, then you're okay to round. You can bring something in front of you as well, like a bolster if you've got one, or blocks to rest onto. We're going to be taking our right leg out straight ahead with the toes gently flexed and the foot engaged, and the left sole of the foot on the inner thigh, making sure that hips are facing forwards. I'll face this way on the mat. Right, so right leg is out straight in front of you, left foot is on the inner thigh. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, slowly fold. You don't have to come far. Stop as soon as you feel it. So as soon as you feel that initial sensation, stretch, then stop there and don't push, because there's no benefit really in doing that. And then breathe. You can close your eyes here if you want to. We'll be here for about 2 minutes. Sink into those sensations. And once the stretch, maybe in a minute or so, maybe if you feel the stretch less, it might be then that you walk the hands a bit further forwards, or maybe not. Both are fine. Take 3 more breaths, nice deep breaths here. then to come out, ease out of it nice and slowly, being aware how your body feels as you come out. Bring your hands behind you just to lean back slightly. Plant both soles of the feet on the floor, knees are bent, and just pausing, resting for a moment before we come on to the other side. Okay. Coming onto the other side now then, so left leg lengthens out. Again, the foot is gently engaged, so it's not flopping out, so the leg is too relaxed. We want slight engagement. Right sole of foot onto the left inner thigh. We're facing forwards with the hips like headlamps. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine, and then exhale, slowly begin to fold. Seeing where you first feel it. And then that's your edge. That's your sustainable place, the kind of Goldilocks position where it's not too much, but it's not too little. So you can feel something, but nothing too much. And you can close your eyes if you want to, soften through your face and your shoulders. Breathing deeply in and out through your nose. Another 3 deep breaths here, and again it may be that now that you've held it long enough there might be space for you to melt into it a bit deeper, or maybe not. Just check in again with how it's feeling. And then you can slowly begin to press into the hands, walk the hands back in and lift up. And again, come to that neutral position. And be still just for a moment. And if you do want to bring any knee swishes or straightening your legs out or anything, do any gentle movements that feel good. Okay, so we're going to roll onto our backs now. So soles of the feet plugged into the floor, if you can, here. Straighten the lower back, the lift up, engage your core, reach your hands out, take a big breath in, and then as you breathe out, roll nice and slowly down onto the floor. Right, oh, there's a plant in my face. I need to move down. Okay, so we'll take a bridge first. So soles of the feet about hip distance, not too wide, but not right together. And you can reach the fingertips down to just about reach the heels. It's all right if you can't though, but you want them fairly close to the sit bones. Pressing through the feet, the hands are palm face down, the arms are down by your sides. As you breathe in, lift up the hips, the mid back and the upper back. So you're expanding the chest through to the chin. Pressing again into the foundation, so feeling the soles of the feet on the floor, the arms, the palms of the hands, the back of your head, and allowing this solidity and strong foundations to give you that lift and strength in the parts of the body that are lifting. I'll hold it for one more deep breath. Okay, and then as you exhale, roll down mid-back, upper back, mid-back, and the hips. Okay, we'll take Supta Baddha Konasana for a few moments as well. So soles of the feet come together, the knees come wide. If you prefer not to do this, you can come to a constructive rest instead. And then hands onto the low belly again. Let's feel the soles of your feet meet each other, that connection to yourself. I'm going to take 5 deep breaths here. Okay, bring the hands onto the outside of the thighs, draw the knees together, knees in towards the belly, and then bring the hands out, palms face up, either side of you. And we'll do a recline twist, so bring the knees over to the right side and the head over the left shoulder. If you want any cushioning or blankets or anything under the knees that are on the right side, you can do, or in between the legs can be nice if you need that. And really settle in here. Let yourself drop. Try to make sure the hands and the arms, the feet are as heavy as they can be. So shuffle about until you feel like your whole body is as in contact with the floor as it can be. Take 3 more breaths on this side. Then bring your head to centre, the knees to the centre. Plant your feet on the floor, adjust your hips, your spine, so you're in a straight line again. And then bring your knees in again and over to the left side and head over right shoulder. And again, sink in, soften your face, your shoulder, your bellies, your belly, and your toes. And then again, bringing everything to the middle, planting the soles of the feet down, and just pausing for a moment. And you can take, if you need to just take any other movements before we come to relaxation to Shavasana, you can. If you want to get socks on or a blanket, have some water, anything else, then do that now. I'm going to sit up, but you lie down and come to Shavasana. So you can come to a kind of starfish shape, arms out by your sides, palms face up, legs, feet nice and wide. If your lower back feels tight or hurts at all, you can come to the position we're in the first bit of the class, constructive rest, where you're lying down, your feet are wide and your knees come together. Okay, so close your eyes, get comfy. Take one deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth to cleanse, release, to settle, to land. And roll your shoulders down, so kind of nestle your shoulders down underneath. And again, consciously give yourself permission to be here. This is such an important part of the practice. Hear any sounds again outside or inside the room. Bring your attention, your awareness to yourself, to your physical body, where it's lying, the space that it takes up, that you deserve to take up. Feel the back points of your body against the mat, against the floor, the back of the head, the shoulders, the lower back, the bum, the backs of the legs, the heels. Every time you breathe out, allow those parts to sink down, sink in, let go, connect. Feeling that the whole body is still and relaxed. Softening through your face, the eyelids are heavy. Relaxing your jaw. Fingertips and toes and everywhere in between. And then as we visualized in the beginning of the class, take yourself back to that place in nature, that terrain of nature that makes you feel the most connected and grounded. So lie there again. Smell the earth or the grass or the sun, whatever it might be, and feel that support, that firmness, but also that softness in the way it molds to you. And you can release any tensions and worries into that support, down into the earth. Again, running through the sensations of being there, the temperature, the smells, how that terrain feels on your skin. And just stay there, running through those things, feeling how it feels to lie, to be in that place in nature. If your mind wanders at any point, just bring it back again to that visualization. Feeling connected and grounded, lying in nature. Begin now to bring your awareness back to the room, back to your body, where it is now. Start to breathe a bit more deeply, wiggling your fingers and toes. Then take a big full body stretch with arms up overhead, toes pointing, reaching fingers and toes away from each other. Big breath into that space. And then as you exhale, soften, release, bend your knees and roll over onto your side. And just stay there in a kind of recovery position, cozy for a moment. And slowly pressing into the floor, keeping your eyes closed if you can. Come to cross-legged seat, Sukhasana, facing the long edge of your mat, or well, wherever, whatever the screen you're watching it on. And we'll bring our hands, palms face down, onto the knees. Roll the shoulders up, back and down, eyes are closed. Sitting nice and tall, feeling grounded, rooted through the sit bones and the legs, the feet, and then that slight lifting and lengthening through the spine and the crown of the head. Breathing naturally and just checking in with how you feel. And we'll take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Deep breath in through your nose, down into the belly. And a long breath out through your mouth. And deep breath in, letting the belly expand and soften. And a long breath out through your mouth whenever you're ready. One more whenever you're ready. Big breath in. And a sigh, an audible sigh to release. And we'll bring our palms together at the heart center and bow down. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you feel grounded and strong. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.